Learning the ins and outs of plant-based nutrition is a long and difficult process. After each new epiphany, you think you finally know it all. And in the next moment, a completely new dietary aspect to optimize your health comes around the corner. Oh, you stopped eating meat, dairy and eggs, and you're taking a B12 supplement. Not bad. But what about oil, processed carbs, salt, omega-3s, iodine, yada yada yada. In this video, we want to do just that. We want to present different dietary aspects you might not yet know about, or for which you might need another reminder to look into the topic in more detail. Remember to subscribe to our channel. 1. Iodine and selenium. As most plant foods are low in iodine and selenium, covering these minerals needs special attention. The only plant foods high in iodine are sea vegetables. Then again, getting too much iodine when eating sea vegetables can easily happen. It is not difficult to cover your iodine needs, but it needs some knowledge and planning. We will link our video on iodine and sea vegetables in the description box. The selenium content of plant foods heavily depends on the selenium content in the soil. In many regions of the world, it is difficult to find safe and reliable dietary selenium sources. One Brazil nut a day is a good start, but their selenium content varies. A supplement might be useful. 2. Green leafy vegetables. The healthiest foods on the planet are green leafy vegetables, like kale, arugula, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, spinach, Swiss chard, etc. They are a great source of phytonutrients and antioxidants and should be part of your daily diet. It will be worth your time to look into how to include more green leafy vegetables into your diet. It does not have to be a plain old salad. Often you can include green leafy vegetables into your dishes without noticing much of a difference. Some green leafy vegetables high in oxalates, such as spinach and Swiss chard, should not be consumed on a daily basis. Apart from these exceptions, the more green leafy vegetables you eat, the better. 3. Intact grains and legumes. Over the last 2 centuries, the intake of intact grains and legumes in Western countries has fallen by more than 90%. Nowadays, more than 80% of all grain products are made of white flour, and we eat minuscule amounts of legumes. This trend is one of the main reasons why the average fiber intake in Western countries is only about half of the recommended daily intake. Regardless of your current diet, reintroducing intact grains and legumes into your diet will greatly boost your overall health, especially your gut health. They are great sources for high-quality protein, minerals, phytonutrients and vitamins like vitamin B2 and B9. 4. Reducing salt. Let's take a closer look at salt. The recommended maximum daily intake is just 6 grams of salt, a single teaspoon, but health benefits continue to as low as 4 grams of salt a day. Chances are that you are not aware of your current salt intake. Well, who is? So it might be a good idea to take a closer look at the foods you are regularly eating. Some candidates to keep in mind are vegetable broth and other spice blends, canned foods, processed foods, baked goods, anything with a label really, and of course restaurant foods. They often contain a very high amount of salt. If your regular salt intake is above 6 grams a day, look for easy ways to lower your salt intake. 5. SOS-Free whole food plant-based diet. The abbreviation WFPB stands for Whole Food Plant-Based. It describes the idea of eating predominantly unprocessed plant foods, vegetables, fruits, intact grains, legumes, and nuts and seeds. The SOS-Free addition means salt, oil, and sugar-free, which sometimes includes that overt fat sources like olives, avocados, nuts, and seeds are also eaten sparingly. Depending on your current dietary habits, this way of eating might sound extreme. If you simply want to prevent chronic diseases and already have an ideal body weight, there definitely is some leeway to include more overt fat sources in your diet and to make some exceptions here and there. But if you are looking to reverse a chronic disease or to lose weight, shifting your diet towards an SOS-free whole food plant-based diet is a great idea. 6. Calorie density. One striking advantage of eating a whole food plant-based diet is the overall low calorie density. Vegetables, fruits, intact grains and legumes contain 3 to 10 times fewer calories than the same amount of highly processed foods. Even just swapping parts of your meals for more of these whole plant foods can allow you to eat much more food for the same number of calories. The salt, oil and sugar-free aspect of the SOS-Free whole food plant-based diet is an additional step towards reducing the overall calorie density of the diet. Oil is the food with the highest calorie density, and even small amounts can sometimes double the calorie density of your meal. For example, 1 tablespoon in 300 grams of salad. Avoiding added sugar and salt restricts the consumption of calorie-dense processed foods and will also reduce cravings and addictive behaviors. 7. Lifestyle aspects. Diet is one of the most important aspects when it comes to living a long and healthy life. In healthy population groups around the world, 80% of those over 80 and 70% of those over 90 remain fit and healthy. In Western countries, the reality is very different. In addition to diet, there are many lifestyle aspects that influence your longevity, like being active throughout the day, close friendships, and minimizing psychological stress. Taking a few short walks throughout the day, calling your friends and family members, and working on reducing psychological stress triggers can greatly increase your quality of life in the short but also in the long term. Were you familiar with the tips we presented here? If not, we hope they will help you to take your health journey to the next level. But don't stress yourself if you did not follow all these tips in the past. Personally, we also do not follow all of them every day. Let us know about your experiences on your plant-based journey in the comment section. See you next week!